Attention passionate Detroit Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL headlines lately, you know that the Detroit Lions are in a very interesting spot, but not just because of their on-field performance. No, this time it's about roster moves, strategic trades, and how they're positioning themselves for a serious push in the 2025 season. Recently, the Lions made a move that might seem small on the surface, but in reality, it's huge in terms of future potential and team development. That move was trading Mazi Smith to the Dallas Cowboys and acquiring Hendon Hooker from the Tennessee Titans. Now, let's unpack this because it's not just about a player swap. It's about what this means for Detroit's quarterback room, their future prospects, and how they're stacking their roster for a real shot at a deep playoff run. First, let's talk about Hendon Hooker. The Lions drafted him in the third round of the 2023 NFL Draft, and at the time, many fans were excited about his potential. Hooker came out of college with an impressive resume, nearly 9,000 passing yards, 80 touchdowns, and only 12 interceptions over his four-year college career. That's elite production, especially considering he was playing at Tennessee, a program known for producing NFL-ready quarterbacks. But it's not just the stats that catch your eye, it's his style of play. Hooker is a very accurate passer with a quick, smooth throwing motion that allows him to get the ball out quickly and precisely, even under pressure. He's capable of throwing the deep ball with accuracy, which makes him a versatile threat in the passing game. However, since being drafted, Hendon has faced some setbacks. His journey has been hampered by a torn ACL he suffered in his final college season, a serious injury that kept him off the field for a significant time. When he finally returned to action, the Lions kept him mostly on the sidelines, mainly because Jared Goff has been the undisputed starter. So Hendon has had limited opportunities to show what he can really do at the NFL level. Over 3 games with Detroit, he's thrown for just 62 yards on 6 completions, a small sample size but enough to see flashes of his talent. Fans who watched him during those snaps know that he has the tools and the potential to be a starting quarterback in this league someday, but right now he's still developing. This is where the trade to the Titans becomes interesting. Tennessee is in a bit of a pickle at quarterback. Will Levis, their initial plan for the season, now faces a season-ending shoulder surgery, which leaves them in a tricky spot. They were hoping to have a competition between Levis and Cam Ward, but with Levis out for the year, their depth chart suddenly looks very thin. Cam Ward, a rookie, is talented but still raw, and the Titans need someone with more experience behind him. Brandon Allen provides some veteran presence, but he's not exactly the kind of player who inspires confidence if Ward gets hurt or struggles. So the Titans are eyeing Hendon Hooker as a potential backup, and this makes sense for both sides. For Detroit, trading Hendon might seem like giving up on a promising talent, but it's actually about maximizing his value and giving him a chance to develop elsewhere. The Lions are stacked at quarterback with Jared Goff leading the charge, and they have a clear plan for his success. Hendon's value is still high because of his talent and the potential he showed in college, and a trade to the Titans could give him a clearer path to a starting role in the future. For the Lions, this move creates space and cap flexibility, and it keeps their roster competitive without holding on to a player who might not see the field for a while. Plus, it's a smart move to get a player like Mazi Smith, who's been a promising interior defender, in return. Now, shifting gears a little, let's look at what this means for the Lions' overall strategy. Detroit has been building a team that combines a solid defense with an explosive offense led by Jared Goff. Goff has been fantastic, proving doubters wrong and showing that he's a franchise quarterback capable of leading this team deep into the playoffs. But they're always looking to add depth and talent, especially at positions that could be the difference between a good team and a championship team. Acquiring Hendon Hooker, even if he's currently a backup, adds a valuable piece to that puzzle, especially considering his talent and potential. And let's not forget, the Lions have a history of developing quarterbacks and making smart roster moves. They're known for their disciplined approach, strong drafting, and strategic trades. This latest move fits perfectly into that mold, a calculated decision to strengthen their roster for the long haul. It also signals that Detroit is serious about competing at the highest level, not just for this season, but for many seasons to come. Their coaching staff has been praised for their development of young players, and with Hendon in their system, they're giving him time to grow, learn, and eventually step into a bigger role if the opportunity presents itself. Now, if we zoom out a bit and look at the NFC North, this trade and the overall moves by teams like Detroit are reshaping the division's power dynamics. The Lions have been on the rise for a couple of years now, but these strategic moves show they're not content with just being contenders, they want to be champions. The NFC North has traditionally been dominated by the Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears at different times, but Detroit's recent rise has been impressive. They've done well in building a team that combines a tough defense with an explosive offense, and now, with moves like this, they're reinforcing their roster and preparing for a serious shot at the NFC title. Of course, the division is still competitive. Minnesota Vikings are always lurking, and the Packers, with their young talent, could surprise everyone. But Detroit's approach, emphasizing smart roster management, player development, and strategic trades, is what sets them apart. They're creating a team that's not just good enough to make the playoffs, but is built to go deep, to challenge for a Super Bowl. And the signing and development of players like Jared Goff, combined with their smart moves in the draft and trades, show that the Lions are thinking big. Looking ahead, fans should be excited. The addition of Hendon Hooker to the Titans gives him a chance to showcase his skills and possibly become a starter in the future. For Detroit, it's about patience and development, knowing that they already have a solid core. But don't be surprised if we see Hendon eventually returning to the spotlight, especially if he continues to develop and matures as a quarterback. The Lions' coaching staff has a knack for nurturing talent, and Hendon's upside is still very high. And let's be honest, this trade also keeps the NFL interesting. It's a reminder that the league is always evolving, with teams making strategic moves that can shake up divisions and playoff expectations. For Lions fans, it's a message that the front office is always working behind the scenes to improve the team, to find that extra edge, and to position Detroit as a perennial contender. The future looks bright, and with each move, they're building a team that can compete with anyone on the field. Now, in the bigger picture, this move emphasizes the importance of roster versatility and depth, especially at the quarterback position. The NFL is a league where injuries happen, and depth can be the difference between a successful season and a disappointing one. Detroit's approach has been to build a well-rounded team, and even if Hendon is no longer with the Lions, his departure is part of a calculated plan to keep the team flexible and competitive. So fans, as we analyze this latest development, remember that the Detroit Lions are not just about today, but about tomorrow and the future beyond that. They're making smart, strategic moves that align with their goal of winning a Super Bowl. The acquisition of Hendon Hooker by the Titans may seem like a small piece in the puzzle, but it's a reminder of how dynamic and interconnected the NFL landscape is. Every move counts, and Detroit is right in the middle of shaping their destiny for a championship run. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. Thank you all for being part of this journey, for supporting the team, and for sharing your passion. The future is bright, and together, we're going to keep cheering for our Lions all the way to the top.